Alright, welcome to the main event for round number 10 for Circuit of the Americas. We went through the heat race. Roman took the win on that one. He's on the right side of the screen. He's going to be starting on pole for the main. Detail on the left will be in second. Luke third. Turkey fourth. Sol fifth. Opix sixth. Nuke seventh. Hunter eighth. Vulcan ninth. It's going to be 13 laps, which is actually quite a lot on this track. It's quite a lot of time. May not seem like it, but 13 laps on this track it's pretty long lap times. Depending on how fast you are, you want to be hitting around a 112 at least, and but depending on how bad of a lap you can have, you could be hitting towards like 115. So it can actually be a pretty long race, and then with battling and stuff factored in too. 13 laps can be pretty grueling here. But anyways, gonna be getting it going. Oh, and then as far as the checkpoint goes, it'll be around 53. But we're gonna do the nade start again. Detail's going to be the one sending it this time. It's out, and we're green. And he sends in the beginning. Wouldn't say anything too crazy, but we do have some battles going into the S's, which can get kind of spooky. Especially when we get to these aggressive right-left-handers here. Oh... Yeah, parts, you run it by yourself and it doesn't seem that tricky, and then you run it in the pack and it's like, this part is actually kind of difficult. Can definitely trip some people up. Opix and Hunter having issues early on to try to regain from that. That being said, early on, probably the best time to make a mistake like that or get caught up in anything.
Checkpoint.
Oh, some drivers getting really close to the rock trap. See the different approaches. Many bogs. Many bogs on the first lap. Not too surprised. Sol gets cheesed out right there. I'm not going to lie. My vision kind of went blank for a second there. I'm not really sure what happened to him. That was weird. Pretty sure I literally blinked as that happened. So that whatever happened, that was quite interesting. That's going to send Sol back a little bit.
Checkpoint reached.
To complete the first lap, Roman will lead it down. But he's got some hungry hippos behind him, potentially. Lamau. See if they can make anything happen. We got some good battles going on in the back of the pack. Vulcan and Sol very close here. Oh, very aggressive. Oh, no, and Nuke gets cheese too, racing with Turkey. And look at this massive run out of Opix. Might be able to make some big spots up here. Oh my god, what a crazy pack we have back here.
Checkpoint reached.
Side by side. They're four wide. They're four wide. What is happening? Oh no, Opix ends up spinning out of it, probably getting lag cheesed in the middle of that four wide. Those four wides can get pretty weird in reach, but look at this. Taking that outside line to get back around Vulcan there. Man, that was crazy. I did not expect to see a four wide at any point during this race. That was not on my bingo card, but ended up doing it somehow. Wow, it is getting spicy up front. Podium guys are still pretty close. Turkey, not too far off, running a solid top 5. Turkey could use a good finish like that in reach. I feel like his reach season's been kind of rough so far. Oh man, that's just too far to the inside there for Opix, and oh no, more issues for Hunter too. See if he gets by him, but massive run. Hunter steals the momentum. Yeah, they have had many issues this race. Hunter and Opix gonna have to try to hit a fat regain here. Look at the gap. I mean, you can really tell on this long straight here. Gaps early on, already pretty intense. I mean, that being said, we still have some good potential battles on track. Turkey's not getting away from Sol and Nuke like I was hoping he would. He just does not have this last sector figured out. Funnily enough, I feel like he's one of the only drivers early on in this race hitting that first turn all out, and it seems like he's doing it pretty well. But he just does not have this last sector dialed in at all, is what it seems like. He's just too many bogs. Sol and Nuke are gaining pretty quickly on him. We'll see if he can still hit the first turn properly. Oh, yeah, he's doing it. So he's making up some time there. He's making up some time there, so at least he's got that dialed in, but I mean, it's only going to do so much if he's so far off pace in the other areas of the track. I don't even think he sets himself up very well in the S's here. That's where Nuke is going to have an advantage on both of them. Oh, wow. Tilt a massive send on Roman there. Letting him know. Letting him know. Oh, Soul with the big ball. And Nuke and Soul might have a little bit of a draft here, actually. Rare draft coming out on the straightaway.
Checkpoint reached.
Doesn't set him up very well for the next section, though. Not really, so Soul's going to kind of get back into it. Oh! And this battle for the lead is getting super spicy as well. We have two separate pack battles going on right now. Pretty great race so far, actually, as far as our GP racing goes. Newt gets by Turkey, so he's going to take that spot, get into 4th place, get on board with Luke here and see what's going on in this battle. Oh. Roman, Detail, and Luke, 1, 2, 3. Very, very, very close.
Checkpoint reached.
With each other. It's just about where do you go for it? Where do you try to make the move stick? Oh! Some aggressive sense. Speaking of aggressive sense, Turkey and Soul got back into this. It's hard to follow both. We have two pretty great pack battles for top positions. It's still like pretty close to the midpoint of this race, and these are still raging on. Oh! The bogs, and Luke's going to make it happen around the outside to get by Detail right there. Big move to put him into 2nd. And that is one thing that I like about this track. I like that you can actually make those moves around. You know, it's pretty rare that you have like a GP section where you can actually make a move happen around the outside. But there's a few spots where you can actually kind of make it work on this track, which I think is pretty cool. Again, it's pretty rare. Oh! Trying to show off his send line to Roman there, but Roman was in the middle of it, so wasn't really going to get the full momentum. But yeah, Nuke, Turkey, and Soul seem to be getting the hang of it, but I don't think Roman or Detail in front are really going for that turn 1 all out yet. I think these guys in that backpack, oh no, that is such a big mistake for Turkey. That's going to cost. But yeah, I think the mid pack, I think those guys are starting to get that dialed in. It looks like they're all starting to try to make that happen. But for the front pack, that doesn't seem to be the case. I think Luke's the only one going for it right now. I haven't really seen Roman do it. I haven't really seen Detail do it yet. That being said, they've been really close to each other, so they haven't really had a chance. And look at this! The outside move again! Not bogging, keeping the momentum. And look at this! Still keeping the momentum. So Luke's going to do it the same, pretty much the same move, 2 laps in a row, and keep the momentum through the last sector. Goes around Detail, then goes around Roman to the lead. So yeah, it's definitely showing you can make some spicy stuff happen in that last sector. It's tricky, but it's definitely something that makes this track a little bit unique. And then as well, going for that full send, not the cleanest one, but still getting a bit of space there. But yeah, that's definitely something that I like. Well, honestly, a lot of these reach tracks in general, there are quite a few. Oh no! Rock contact for Detail. That's going to lose him some time. Yeah, that's something that I like about these reach GPs. Is it's not just this track. I think this track does have a very good example of it with that sector. But it's not just this track. A lot of these reach GPs have some sections where you can actually like kind of make a higher line work to maintain your momentum and avoid the bog. And it's not just the case in the GPs even. You could even apply this to like some of the MX tracks or Supercrosses as well. Even without berms, like, yeah, MX would be a better example because Supercross usually have the berms on the outside, but a lot of the motocross tracks can have some outside lines that are actually kind of effective because you just avoid the bog, keep the momentum up. And I don't know. I think it makes it kind of interesting because unless you're like manufacturing it, you don't really. That was a better example right there. That was a better example. So that time Luke hit the first turn better, and you can tell how much of a gap it's creating. And I think we just had a death. It kind of sounded like death. Did we have? And the stoppage has been called. The caution on the track. Who was that for? I believe. What? There we go. I wanted to say it was for Vulcan, but now he's gone. So Vulcan, the only driver. The only driver to. Wow, did he just decide to go backwards halfway through? God. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what is going on with Vulcan right now. Vulcan was the one that died, right? What are we doing? What? Whatever. Anyways, pretty sure it was him, but death on the track. Once in the heat, once in the feature, and we're back to green. I'm not gonna slow down the restart. Let's just pretend that didn't happen. Let's just get back into it. Pretend that didn't happen. But yeah, hopefully the only instance where we have to do this throughout the season, the standing restart on the track death in some of these Reach GPs. Yeah, unfortunately, the budget count not really there on these tracks. So, you know, try to give enough bordering, try to give enough space as possible. But that being said, you make some mistakes. You know, stuff happens, and definitely can still be some situations where drivers will fly off the track and could have some deaths. So, I mean, like this corner, for example, there's not really a whole lot of runoff. But that being said, that's a pretty safe corner. The more dangerous parts of the track definitely have a little bit more runoff. But again, that being said, it only does so much. it only does so much.
Checkpoint reached.
On Roman trying to get that turn one dialed in. It looks like Detail's starting to try to adapt to it too. So they're starting to realize that that's something that they're going to need to be hitting if they want to stay competitive. Newt is starting to make some gains in fourth. Soul's still having a good run in fifth. Turkey's fallen out. Bad crashes. Opix and Hunter back there, and obviously Vulcan died, so it's not really going well for him. Let's get back on board with Detail as he tries to chase Roman back down. Was battling with him aggressively like the entire race, and then he made a mistake, hit a rock. That kind of cost him a lot, but now he's trying to work the time back. And let's see if Roman can make some adjustments. But no, still getting that bog. Oh, but Detail also hits the bog. He could have gained some crucial time right there, but still hitting the bog as well in this final sector. But yeah, what I was saying before, just unless you manufacture it, like those outside lines where you can run a little bit, and it's realistic too. I mean, there are definitely oh yeah, he's adapted to it pretty well. So Detail's got it down. I don't think Roman's going for it, though. I think Roman's saying F that, so this could make things interesting here for second, third, because if Detail's hitting that and Roman's not, as long as Detail can get the last sector figured out, too, definitely start to make some gains, so I think this battle for second is definitely not over. But yeah, it's definitely realistic. Like, there's some instances on actual road courses where you would actually... rather take a higher line, rather get that momentum, and depending on like how the section is built, it'll actually like set you up better. Funnily enough, the actual racing on this track in that section does kind of work out like that. Like there are definitely some drivers that take higher lines through that, and it works. The momentum carries. So I think it's a pretty realistic thing, and I think it's pretty cool that we can have lines like that work in these reach races. Obviously, there's like pros and cons to all the mongooses, but I think that's one of the things of the reach goose that I think is pretty cool. Oh, wow. That was incredible. I did not expect that bog to work out like that. That was a clean pass out of detail right there. Take that spot over Roman in turn 1. I can't believe he stuck that without, like, the bog just immediately hitting him back. He just stole the momentum perfectly and just got right by him. I didn't even really react to it at first because I didn't expect that pass to be completed that quickly. Thought it was going to go on for a bit longer. And things have gotten weird with the checkpoint. Roman's missed some checkpoints. I think Luke missed the checkpoint once, so shows detail as the race lead in the checkpoint count right now. Things have gotten a little bit weird there, but I'll try to keep you guys up to date on when we're getting to that last lap. And Nuke has joined the party now too. Too many bogs. Too many bogs from Roman, and it's costing, and now his podium position is potentially at stake.
Checkpoint.
Gonna have to try to make something happen here late in the race with only a few laps to go. And as you can see, I mean, I think definitely they're just going protective, trying to block off that line. But yeah, that turn 1 momentum is just too much right now, and Roman hasn't been able to figure it out quite yet. Does a pretty good job defending Nuked in the S's, though. Roman actually does a really nice job holding them off there. Big send, but the eventual bog that's going to cost some time. Roman gets a pretty nice run, actually, out of that turn.
Checkpoint reached.
Roman actually choosing to brake. Oh, and he might have stole some momentum. Did not bog. Roman's been bogging on that exit a lot this race. Does not have to deal with it that time. And that's pretty big. That keeps him pretty close behind detail. Roman definitely gained some that lap, so sticking with it. Not giving up yet. And I believe this actually is the white flag last lap. So Luke with a pretty massive gap. Oh! Okay. It settles out. I thought things were going to get spicy. I thought Roman was going to force the inside and Detail was going to end up going wide because of it. But, I mean, that's kind of what happened, but it didn't happen as bad as I expected. But, yeah, I think Detail's just been having some rough runs in the S's here. Seems where Roman's kind of dialed it in here at the end. Yeah, on the last lap, watching this podium battle. See if things spice up because I think Luke's pretty much checked out for the lead at this point. Making those passes early on, taking advantage of it, really getting checked out of this one. These guys still battling. I think is Detail in controller for this? I think he's not. Kind of seemed like he wasn't hitting the 95 right there, and just way too wide. Way too wide on the entry there. And it opens up the door for Roman, and Roman makes the move. Oh, and he defends it with the bog too, so it opens it up for Nuked on the outside. What an unfortunate last few sections for Detail. He's going to lose 2 spots on the last sector, the last lap. That is tough. Luke will come to the line for the win. That could be crucial for the overall in the night too. Roman will take that second place back. Nuked will get the late podium. Detail will have to settle for 4th at the end of that one. Soul with a solid top 5. Turkey will come in 6th. Hunter 7th. And Opix swerving across for 8th place. And Vulcan will end up finishing 9th. Yeah, he died. I think he pulled off. Oh yeah, he parked it, which is fair. I mean, I probably would have parked it too if I fell off the map. Can't really blame him for that. Yeah, it's tough. Anyways, it's your final results for COTA, the surprise week with the track switch ups, but it ended up working out pretty well. Especially this one. This is actually a pretty good race. Yeah, pretty good. I'd say this was probably the probably the best GP race, most entertaining to watch, I would say, this season so far. I don't know, there's been some good ones, but this one had two really good packs that were just going back and forth for damn near the entire race. So I thought this one was pretty fun to watch. Hope you guys enjoyed it. At the end of it, with both the races combined and penalties accounted for and all that stuff, overall results, Luke will end up taking the overall in this one, third overall in the season, rebounding after Slaunch sweeping last week. And then second will be Detail. Had a chance. If he held on to that second place, he would have taken his second overall for sure, but he needed both of those spots. He needed both of those spots at the end there, and he lost both of them. So unfortunate, but still coming in second overall, 30. Roman tied up, but going to be third on the tiebreaker with 30 as well. Sol fourth with 23, gets the tiebreaker over Turkey, gets fifth with 23 as well. Opix sixth with 22. Hunter 7th with 19, Vulcan 8th with 18, and Nuked, of course, only one race, 9th with 14. So there you go. There's the overall results for the night as well. Podium one more time, Luke, Roman, and Nuked for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Next week, we're going to be going to the Milwaukee Mile back on an oval. It's been a few rounds since we've been on one, so we're getting back to one with the Milwaukee Mile. That one should be fun. Pretty simple short track, but can provide some good racing on there. And then as of right now, AMA Phoenix for the SX. So that's what we're looking at next week. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and see you there.